Okay. And we're on.
Awesome sauce. Welcome everybody to our Monday night call. It is January 23rd, my lucky number, so that's always a good sign. I hope everybody's doing great. We had a really awesome last couple of weeks doing this Shred 10. We've been shredding the bleep out of January, and thank you for all the captains who have really stepped up to make this a really awesome and fun experience. It has been wild, and I don't think anything tops Michelle in the Cape. That was like the best. And if anybody doesn't know what I'm talking about, get on Facebook because on the buzz page, because she really stepped it up to a whole new level. So thank you for that. Tonight we wanted to come to you guys and talk to you about a little bit about what happens next, right? So we just created this huge wave of momentum. We've got a lot of new customers, a lot of people stepping into the Juice Plus experience. It's January. So all in all, people really want to get, they're starting new routines and everything. And the number one focus that we need to, as a team, I believe, put our attention on is really the customer care piece. So once you get a bunch of people on board, then we have to translate what it means to be a customer in the Juice Plus experience. And a lot of us, I have to say, have come on as reps, myself included, day one. So meaning like I never tried the product before I signed up as a rep. I just did it all at once. And so as exciting and awesome as that is, I think it's really important also for those people to get a good sense of what customer care feels like so they can then transfer it down to their customer base. So for the month of February, our major focus is going to be share the love. So we decided kind of in conversations back and forth with a bunch of you guys that we wanted to put out a team-wide focus of really sharing with people that are currently happy, engaged customers and helping extend out through them as well as our reps. So what this is going to look like a little bit, we have some events that we're tailoring to really create an epicenter, the thing to invite people to be talking about throughout the month. It's centered around wine and chocolate, so I don't know anybody that's not going to want to show up to that. And the key here is really, hey Jen, welcome, is going to be really, allowing us to share stories through people. So I want to paint a picture of what this could look like, okay? And really, I have had this vision of this multi-generational touch from, I don't know, it's been kind of bubbling up inside of me. And I think that we can really do a great job of illustrating this for people by taking pictures if we're close enough. I know I have a mom, a daughter, and a grandmother like locally. So I'm going to try to see if I can get them to an event like soon and take a picture of them and post that and like say a little blurb about them and really honor and just appreciate the family, involvement of all of this. And so sharing the love is really basically taking that happy customer and saying like, there's got to be people in your life that you care a lot about, right? And obviously you're having such a great experience. Would you mind brainstorming with me a little bit about who we can share the love with in the month of February, right? And just on this whole campaign that we're all about. And then, so what we want to do is just amplify, kind of like we've done with the teams and the colors and the camaraderie of that, but, amplifying the relationships that people have. So it'd be something like me and a friend of mine taking a picture together and amplifying that and with the hashtag share the love, right? In February, we could just do share the love, probably will be the one we'll choose, but something like that, and inviting them in. And so asking them to, what this does for people is a couple of things. One, it edifies their decision to be a part of what they're doing. So anytime that somebody is willing to make a recommendation on something, they first it's like they're telling themselves all the reasons why they like it, right? Or what great experience they're having. Or it really solidifies the customer base through this process. And then kind of transfers onto the team experience as well. So here they are, they're sharing, and if they do it more than once, because a lot of people, it's not just one person. Some people may host a party for you for this exact reason. You can even offer that and say, would it be even easier if we just brought the stuff to you and had some people come to your home? Would you be open to that? Or maybe it's a 3-way call where we get on the call and we just say, you know what, Sarah, I know you've been having such a great experience. Like, do you have a friend or two that we can share this with, And I the people who are primed and ready for this are going to be like, yeah, in fact, I've been telling my friend, my sister, my neighbor, my whoever, right, about this already. So what we're doing is just really encouraging them to take that excitement and take the next step with it. And this has been such a great month for that I would be like making your notes now about the people who did participate in the shred, who were excited about the shred, who are having great experiences and results, because there's a really good chance that on their Facebook page or in their real life, people are noticing, you know, how they're looking and feeling and all that. And so we can just kind of take it to the next level. So that's phase one of this. The phase two is just really ingraining this into the customer care experience. And I think this is why the company is really so focused on this right now, is creating ongoing shred groups for our customer base. Because a lot of us, I know me in particular, like I took 2-3 days off and I was like ready to jump back in, right? And so to really keep people excited and focused and having like, you know, that forward momentum where they can take a 10-day period, shred, you know, get all excited and then take a week off and then jump back in with another group, that kind of thing. What we did today was we put together a calendar to take us through the year so that you'll have that in your hands and you can save it in your phone as a favorites and you can just be inviting people to it. And then also the people who have signed up and had an experience, these customers, they can be inviting their people to it as well. So, and saying, hey, why don't you shred with me on this next one, right? And that might be part of that share the love conversation where, you know, you get to ask, like, maybe that looks like for you, we just grab a buddy, you know, but really making an emphasis and I think celebrating the relationship, celebrating the referral, celebrating the action, you know, is going to be what makes this magical for us. Okay. And really what is kind of like in my mind with like firecrackers right now is just this idea of like, if we could take all of our active customer base, engage them through this experience and duplicate that. Think about what an impact that's going to be to the community first and foremost, like the Buzz community, but also to it's going to edify your business within your own social circle because you amplified it by 2 times. And then also, you know, you take like your family plan users and you can go to them and, you know, your team and do the same thing, like taking active reps and then duplicating that. So if let's just say you have a team member who's a family plan user, we take them, we bring them in and say, okay, you know what, like, I'm so grateful for you. You've been such a loyal customer all these years. You know, is there somebody in your life, right, that you think could benefit from this discount too, right? And we ask again for the introduction. And then so together we work towards, do you see how this works? So it's just basically whatever you have, you want to try to double it. Okay, so try to find what's like in the situation, match them up with somebody else that's another match, okay? And then from that, things should cascade out and it might just be pretty special. So any questions about kind of the thought process? This is the time to talk through all this before we get to we wanted to do it before the month starts so you guys feel really good about what to say and how to say it and all that good stuff. And don't be bashful. This is
right. And not only that, to be thinking about as we're having our last, you know, week in this month of January with this last shred program, but to be identifying those people that are having a really good experience and being vocal, or who have, you know, starting with the beginning of the month, any of the other teams who were having a really good experience throughout their 10-day shred. Maybe they did 2 rounds of it, or they were just really vocal about it on the page. I mean, we can all identify them, but if they were one of your customers or within your team, you know, let's have a conversation with them because they are having such a good experience. They probably are spilling that out into their personal life and we might not even know about it. And it's, again, just thinking about that, having those conversations and knowing you don't have to do it alone. And it's actually probably more impactful if you don't do it alone. But if you pull in somebody from your upline to have those conversations with you, you know, that just goes to spread the love, right? We're just sharing the love, bringing more people in to love on people, just make them feel good, you know, edify their decision to do this program and to make that healthy change in their life. And, you know, who else do they know that might benefit from this?
Yeah.
So your focus is really on only shred 10 groups then. That seems to be the focus.
No, it's not necessarily at all. It's the experience. Whatever experience they're having, we want to duplicate that because they can talk to you authentically. So if there's that's why I use that example. If there's a family plan user and that's been their experience and they joined on this team to get a discount so their whole family could get healthy, they saw value in that, right?
Okay.
So they can talk to that genuinely to somebody else, and they could say something, you know, to one of their friends and say, you know what, yeah, I do have a friend that's super healthy and she's got 3 or 4 kids, and you know, I'm sure that would go, you know, a long way. And so we could say, great, let's see if we can set up a phone call, and we're just going to say we've got this little campaign, this little silly thing, but it's called, you know, Share the Love. And what we're here on the phone today to do for you is to help Janice share the love with you over something that's really made an impact on her life, you know. And then we coach them a little bit about sharing their story, right? Yeah, we've been taking Juice Plus for 3 years now. Our kids are really not getting sick as much as they used to. We're certainly, you know, reliant on it in the fact that, you know, we get our fruits and vegetables every single day. We're so excited. We just tried the shakes. Whatever their story is, you try to help them share that, right? And you're just there as the support and the overlay. Most of the people don't share because they're afraid somebody's going to ask a question they can't answer. But when they have somebody on the line that can, it really makes them feel more comfortable, right? And the person on the other end receiving, it's two sharing the same story. It's always much more impactful for them. And I want to really use this as another exercise to help practice the 3-way call process with you guys. So you should be doing this with, you know, with a leader on the phone. So, you know, identify somebody in your upline that you can lean on for that. Myself, Danielle, some of the more senior sales coordinators, they do a great job. You know, we can really start pulling in from that. But the whole idea is to have a lot of fun with it. And what we should be able to do is just put up, like, I've got to find a way to do it, but I'm sure there's a cutout where you could put the picture of the people, like the friends together, like in a heart, and be like, share the love, share the love, share the love, and just kind of like post it out there. You know, there's so much negativity out there right now. I just feel like, let's just be the difference, you know, like, let's just go out and, like, if I see one more vagina on my Facebook page, I'm going to lose it, you know, like, let's just go out and, like, throw up the hearts and really, you know, and talk to something that's important. This is not going anywhere. You know, fruits and vegetables are not sexy, but they do not go out of style. We need them every day of our life, you know, and there's lots of families out there that are struggling. They're struggling for nutrition. And once we get this to them, like, things just change, you know? So, we want to really use it to share the value in that. And I'm going out there too and saying things like, I'm upping it for myself and saying, okay, like, I have X amount of, like, really awesome leaders on my team. I'm going to go invite these other powerful, amazing people to come into my business. And I'm simply going to say, this month I'm sharing the love, and I am all about, you know, really bringing an experience to you that's benefited me hugely. You know, I've retired from corporate America. I'm home with my kids. I have a flexibility and time freedom that I want. You know, I'm building a residual income that's going to last us for the rest of our lives. Like, I want to share that with you in this month and really focus on that. Are you open to a coffee meeting? You know, something like that, where it's just basically, you're just using this slogan to open it up and bring it to people and share a little bit more authentically from the heart, right? It's making sense.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds all great in my head sometimes. And then, yeah, go, Michelle.
I'm just trying to visualize this. So
yeah,
I just actually texted my cousin, because she does this all the time, like, since she's been having such a great experience with Shred.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I think this is a great idea for February. It's perfect. She talks about it all the time with people that she knows, and, you know, they see it on her Facebook, which is naturally what we're trying to do. So the people that she is explaining this to, and they seem to be interested, those people get on the call with me and, let's just say, Danielle, or is Joni also in there somewhere?
Joni should be in there for sure. You want to edify the person that's sharing. So if Joni's the one sharing, you would overlay Michelle. So either you or Danielle could, because Danielle knows Joni, so they have some, like, the whole point of getting that other person on the phone is to share the energy with them, right? Like, so they can see that there's two awesome people together saying the same thing. We're all on the same team. We, you know, and it could be me, but I think that you guys should probably do it because of the layout of where you're at and just how you know each other. You know, I think that would be a good way to do it. But you get my point. I mean, I think you're capable, like, certainly, of sharing Juice Plus, and, you know, you've done an excellent job of really building a customer base and a team and inviting people into the experience. But it's basically sharing the love of our story, inviting them to participate in it, And if they get to the end of the conversation and they don't know somebody, or they're not really quite sold, you can ask them, it sounds like you're all taken care of. Like, is there somebody in your life that maybe could use this information? Right? And you ask for that. It's all about helping. If you can illustrate that, people listen, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then they're like, yeah, actually, I'm a perfect eater. Because trust me, I hear this in California all the time. But I know a bunch of people who come to me all the time and they want to know how to eat better, right? Okay, great. Well, then you can be like an ambassador for us, right? And really help us bring this message to people. I mean, it's really easy to start to work through. What I'm trying to say is we have a tremendous amount of opportunity right at our fingertips. And this is a really nice way to tap into it and really extend out through people who already know it's a good thing and have had a good experience and are willing to help just a little bit. And if you had every single one of those people help with even just one customer, think about that. And then let's say they get one or they get two, and then you go, well, it's so funny. If you have two more friends, that's an HLP. Do you see where I'm going? So it just builds really naturally, organically like this. And because, and the Shred Mom, the thing about that is that it's such an easy thing to jump off of because there's so much excitement around it. And people get such a impact to their system. Like I had people texting me when I was trying to log on here and look up the number, and they're like, how do I get started? I want to get everything arrived today. Do I just take it all? They're so excited, So it's a really easy thing to springboard from, like Michelle illustrated.
Right. But even for those that have not participated in the Shred at all, because we've had such a great response and so much excitement around it, it's an easy conversation to jump into with somebody to maybe introduce it to them. Just in the sheer, excitement and positive results and positive feedback and this wonderful community that we've established for people to just plug into and get support from and encouragement from and kind of all that good stuff. It kind of makes for a natural, easy conversation. So even if they haven't been a part of the Shred before, you can certainly use that as an introduction.
We had somebody tell us the other day, they were like, and this was just the cutest thing. And I won't name names to embarrass anybody, but she was like, we invited her into the team, right? And just noticing what she was doing, she was naturally doing the job, just like Joni's doing, right? So we were like, okay, have you ever considered this? You're such a natural fit. This is so much fun watching you get so excited and having such a great experience. You can see why we're so happy and love what we do, right? And she was like, oh my gosh, I would be stupid not to do. She was like, of course, this community is amazing. Was her, and that's just a testimony to you guys, like, and what we're doing together. It's absolutely, it has been amazing, and we are pulling together in a really strong way. And so we need to keep that up, that energy piece, that feeding and touching every day, and like doing a little bit. Like it really, it does. People notice, even if they're sitting there silently watching, they notice. So this is just a really great opportunity, again, to just kind of come off of that wave of excitement and cascade it out and duplicate it out, which is really fun. Because if you talk to think you have 10 customers, imagine, right? You have 10 customers, 10 loyal, regular, current customers that are always ordering stuff. And you do this with every one of them. What if just like half of them, participate in this cool exercise? Think what that does for your business, right? And you didn't really have to do much of anything other than just do that. And so then from there, you just never know. You never really know. Mm-hmm. So, all right. So I'm going to take you really quick and show you, we came up with so for the event, I actually am typing up like a lesson plan, so our teachers will be so happy. But a very simple, like just, you bring everybody in, like we have a little, like it's very heartfelt. And the idea is to group together and get a lot of people in the room for the Share the Love events. Danielle and I are both going to do one on the same night on February 16th. So it's after Valentine's Day. And it's in different, sorry, my kids are screaming. So if you hear somebody running, that's one of them. But we're going to do it at the same time. And the idea is to pack the house. So all the California people just pack right into my house. Like we'll do the same thing, Danielle or somewhere, you guys can pick a place. And really just like use this exercise again to do just this and to illustrate this and have a lot of fun with it. But we're going to use chocolate and wine and have some little gifts and things. So I'm going to share my screen really quick and see if I can pull up let's see where we are. I share the love. Okay. Where'd they go? My designs.
In the other tab.
Where's the ones I just had?
Open up your other tab.
Other tab. Oh, social media. Thank you. Okay. All right. So on the first page, you'll see here, this will be the thing that you can text people, and we'll have a blank so you can put your information in there, right? But Julio, we can adopt this for you. Or if you want to surround yourself with lots of beautiful, wonderful women, then you can do that too, because it'll be really fun. And it's not meant to be, sexist in any way. It's just that women come when you serve wine and chocolates. But basically, we just kind of made something fun, and we can change, like I said, the details in there. But that's the invitation that you'll give them, with not a ton, behind it. But this is, you could actually send this to them if you wanted to, but this is kind of the breakdown of it. So for our loyal, happy customers and team, we want to share the love in February. Why keep a good thing a secret? We're inviting you and your loved ones to come to a special night of wonderful women empowering information and stories from some of our favorite people. Mothers, sisters, friends, neighbors, all are welcome. We want to fill our home with the most interesting, loving people we know, spanning multiple generations and cultures. Join us for a special evening that you won't want to miss. And then I mention that there will be chocolate and wine. So that's the, hold on, let me go back to closing this. Just something fun, and I can stop share. Does that sound like you guys are really quiet tonight? Like, I feel like the energy is low. I'm like after all
Maybe
that
we need some wine and chocolate tonight.
Wine.
That's not shred friendly.
It's been windy and raining all day.
Okay.
So we're low on energy here.
Got it.
Blown out.
Can I ask you a question though?
Yes.
Because I love your invitation. Like, can I just do a share the love event as an event? Like, I still haven't invited my cousins over. I have a big family. So Can I just have that as my title for an event in February? Course.
Okay. Yeah, of course. Yeah. And we'll make it blank and customizable so you can go and do whatever you want to it, we just wanted to create something that we could anchor into. But if you want it, the idea is to populate this everywhere. So there's obviously people like in Colorado, and Valerie, I'm not sure where you are right now, but I can't hear you.
I'm in Oregon.
You're in Oregon. Okay. But I mean, we can duplicate this event everywhere, is the point. And that's why, I have the details written out. So it's like, okay, step 1, everybody comes in, welcome them, give them this, step 2, do this. So you just kind of go through, and it should be pretty easy but it's fun. And this is kind of thing, we're trying to build customer appreciation into our business on a bigger scale, because as we grow and we gain the customers, what we learned from last year was if we don't take care of them, they go away. Right. And a lot of them, some people aren't going to let you take care of them, and that's okay too. There's always going to be some kind of attrition, but the more that we can really pour into the people that do order regularly, the more secure you can build your base. And if people stay on Juice Plus for a year consistently, they typically stay on it forever. It's a very high percentage of people. If they're ordering it for a year and not taking it consistently, that's something different. But if they're taking it consistently for a year, you see that they're very, very loyal, and they stick on it for a really long time, because how could you stop wanting to play feel like that? So anyway, so there's that. Chrisanne, you're super quiet tonight. Any thoughts around this? I feel like this is right up your alley, so I'm hoping that you're excited.
I think she's just tired. You're muted.
Yeah, I'm exhausted actually. No, I love the idea. It's the question I have is it we're gonna all have it at our different houses, or could all do something together around here, or is it we all do our own thing?
Yeah, I think the idea for on the date of the 16th is, as many of us that can locally, within an area, pull together, so that, there's strength in numbers and there's power in those stories. So the more people with a great experience, even with just our own story, and the more customers we can pull in, and so forth with their stories, to share together, sort of the more powerful of an event it makes it. So, but certainly if that doesn't, date time, whatever, doesn't work for you, like, if, Lisa wants to do her own smaller in-home thing, share the love, but still maybe you want to join us on the 16th with some customers that are having a good experience. Like, you can do both, it's really, there's no right or wrong. It's the more we share the love, the better.
Right, exactly. And it could be over a coffee date. Like, it could be, share the love event over a coffee date, and you just get like 3 or 4 friends together, and you kind of follow through the process there. But it is the idea that, like, we wanted these 2 major events to build to, so that we could create this, like I said, like a kind of an epicenter for it all to kind of bubble out from. And a lot of people just like having an event to invite to really sets them up for a conversation.
Mm-hmm.
I always like to use events as a way to open up the conversation with people,
Can we say to the customers, like maybe on the 16th or whatever, bring a friend, like maybe somebody that they've been talking to?
Exactly the point. Yeah. So you want to be encouraging them, like, and how, like, if you can, so think about it this way, Michelle, if you can get on the phone, right, with them and one of like this happy customer and one of their friends that they're thinking of, and the 3 of you could talk together, then you can simply say, you know what, we would love for you to come with Joni to come to this event that we're having on the 16th. It's a really fun, share the love. Here, I'll text it to you right now, kind of a thing. And all you have to do is come with your smile on, that's it. That's your only
wine and
requirement.
chocolate.
Come with your smile on, right? And then together we create this really awesome, yummy experience for people.
I love that. I like that idea of, because I do connect with like my customers, but then I feel like sometimes I'll text them, hey, how are you? How's everything going? And they're like, fine, the holidays were fine. But this is like a more, all right, we still care about you. Like,
Right.
we want to get together and continue sharing stories and maybe get remotivated again if you're not taking Juice Plus, or you're kind of taking Juice Plus, or.
Yeah. Every exposure builds the consistency. Every exposure builds the confidence. They're not entrenched in the education like we are, you guys. And so a lot of times people forget. I even have like reps that have been kind of, dwindled over the years, and they still get their own product, but they forget, like even they forget. So that constant touch is really important. And so something like this is just it should really solidify the people who are happy and invite more people into that space, right? That's what happened. The reason that this all came about, and I got to cut it out because we're over 6:30, but was I used to do this event around this time of year, and I did every single year, and it was always a huge success. So I built this into the way that this is going to run. But basically I would cut out hearts and like a construction paper and have people write on there like a topic that they were, curious about. So health related, something that had touched their heart, touched their family. Maybe it was cancer, maybe it was autism, maybe it was whatever. And I would have them write this anonymously on a piece. And then we would take all the hearts and we would post them up on like, a fireplace or wherever is the backdrop of where we're talking. Right. And then I would play the heart health video. And in the heart health video, I won't do that now because it's too long and things have changed and people don't want to sit through 45 minutes of education anymore. But it really talked about pretty much everything: immune function, Mediterranean diet, inflammation, all sorts of things. And it was really easy to tie into the topics that they had chosen and kind of segregate them and say, okay, so this falls into this category. Remember when she talked about this, and using it as a teaching tool. So this is kind of similar to that. We just kind of we modernized it a little bit to make it more fun for people. But once you get people talking about what's really on their mind, you'd be amazed at what happens in that room. And it's a really, really special experience. So, and you don't have to be a medical expert to talk with friends and share, we just know that the more fruits and vegetables you consume, the healthier you are, period.
But I like the idea of having like my customers mingle with Michelle's customers, or Danielle's customers, so that it's solidifying, well, these group of people are just like you and I. So I guess we would kind of need to figure, where can we logistically fit more people here in New York if we're going to do something like that. That's cozy still, not like.
Right. Yeah, so you guys can work out the details there. But so we've got that coming. We'll get all the details kind of tuned to this next week, but start planting some fun, some seeds. People always like to be a little bit curious, be like, oh, wait till February. It's share the love. It's going to be awesome. Like, and just be like planting those seeds now with people as you're talking to them. We'll finish up strong with the shred with the purple team. We'll raffle off the prizes. So we need to order the shaker bottles. We should do that now so we can hand them out, once they get here. And if we don't use them for this, we'll use them for something else. So just take a look at how many customers you've got, that participated, and maybe order a handful that you can pass out. I will, of course, try to order the fuchsia color. And then from there, it's just, we're going to cascade out. So Danielle will get you guys the schedule if you want to show it. Do you want to share your screen and show it to them? She did a great job.
Yeah, it's in the works still here. Where am I going here?
So just think, you guys, okay, who are your customers? Who are the people you're touching? Who are the people you want to touch too? That's the other thing to consider. If there's people you haven't talked to yet.
You see it?
Yes.
Doesn't that look good?
All right, I have to tweak it a little bit, but it gives them the dates, obviously, and the breakdown of the program. And I kind of chunked it into seasons.
Mm-hmm.
April, just FYI, last April was our biggest month, and last April, we were still focused on Transform 30. So I think Shred 10 is much more exciting.
Mm-hmm.
And we had a lot of people do Transform 30. So, we can do even more doing the shred. And April is that time where everybody's thinking about the spring and getting ready for, starting to really think about the summer. So like the Aprils, the Mays, like I really see that as being the shred being really, really popular. And then obviously just, one each in the summer. No one really wants to focus too much on limiting themselves in the summer, but it's always good to offer. And then September, we're going to do another, like a shred. We can do like a shred the
bleep
out of September kind of thing. And then in the fall into the winter, just again, one a month, one before Halloween hits, one before Thanksgiving, and one before Christmas, holiday season time, before the holidays. So, it gives everybody a chance at some point to plug into something, and to look ahead to something, so there's no guesswork. There's time frame for everybody. If this doesn't work for you, then, hop in the next time around. Like it's already set there. So it should make it really easy for us with conversations, to find something that really works for, whether it be our current customers or new customers. To plug
and
in.
they can plan for it too. So they can say things like, okay, great, I'm going to jump in on this one. And then, you guys can plan if you have customers that are going to do it, you want to make sure that you have like a salad in a jar or soup in the jar party to support them with that. Cause those are really, that's part of what's making this so successful. I think, honestly, we're just combining all the stuff that's working. Right. And it's good. So there's that. And then, and then I think the biggest key to this too is maintenance. If you use the word maintenance, it's not so daunting. People, you don't want to intimidate them like, oh, you have to do this like all the time. Yet there are people who will want to do it once a month to kind of stay on track. And every time people do it, like Marie's story, we may have her make a video. She's so inspiring. She did the Transform 30 and then she just did the Shred 10 for the first time. And every time she does one, she has like incredible results. And the nice part about it is she's said it many times, she's not rebounding on any of it. So once she does it, she like kind of moves forward. It's like, and I'm experiencing that too. I feel like it's like each next step, so with each 10-day focus, it really helps kind of solidify new habits and move forward. So.
And just with that too, when you have people, and so for the purple team right now, leading, they're finishing out their 10-day shred, and we've put it up there in the Buzz page too. It's, what next after those 10 days? We want to make sure that they realize what we do encourage after those 10 days. And it is in the Shred 10 guide, which again, why we stress it's important. If you haven't read the Shred 10 guide yourself, you want to read it, and you want to encourage your customers to be reading it too. But we do still encourage to continue for the next 20 days to still eliminate the gluten and the dairy, and then just reduce the caffeine and you don't want to do you don't want to have them do the 10 days and then after the 10 days is over, they just jump right back into whatever their bad habits were to begin with, because that kind of defeats the whole purpose. So it's still kind of, expressing to them what those next steps should be and encouraging them to sort of follow that program. And that's how someone like Marie herself, has had the success, how I've had the success. I know Rona has had her own amazing success as well. And it's because of, following those guidelines.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I've actually never thought about doing the Shred 10 and then you're sort of following it up with the Transform 30 program.
Yes.
Oh, that's huge to me, because I feel like the Shred 10 on its own is great for those 10 days, but like you said, you end up going back into your bad habits. But I like just eliminating the gluten and dairy, because once you eliminate that, you pretty much eliminate a lot of bad stuff.
Right.
And I find too, like for me, Rona, when I first started, it was like, okay, I'll do the gluten. And I did that for 30 days and I just focused on that and along with the rest of it. But the dairy was like, I couldn't really commit to that yet. And then I was like, okay, I was down to like the half and half of my coffee. I just couldn't get rid of that. Right. And then it was like the second time I'm like, okay, I'm ready. I got to find something that'll work. So I went, did that. And this is before Shred 10 came out. So the caffeine wasn't a play in that, but just like, if people get stuck on all of it, just say, you know what, let's just pick 2 things and focus on that for the month, or one thing, like the one simple change, right? You're using all the tools in your tool belt, right? It's like, we've got all these things created for a reason. And now we're just using them and fine tuning them through an experience to make sure that it matches up to what the person's goals are and what their experience, we want to set them up for a good experience. So all in all, people should have, I haven't heard a bad result yet. So
yeah. And actually a lot of people who have mentioned it too, like they like can't believe about no coffee for the Shred 10. And I tell them, I'm like, it's not all or nothing. If you like absolutely need that 1 cup, have the 1 cup.
Right.
But not to like discourage them from doing the entire program.
Exactly. For me, I went half calf, right? I was like, everything was half calf. And then before I knew it, I wasn't like, I'm still like not craving a coffee.
Right.
Cool. And I can't say that about, I always really gravitate towards that, but it's not happening anymore. So,
Have a kid. Never drank coffee till she came along.
Well, and I have heard over the years that caffeine is actually, the more you have it, the worse it is for you. And it actually gets rid of a lot of people get anxious. And if you stop drinking or, having caffeine, it goes away, that anxiety. It can cause panic attacks. So I haven't heard a lot of good things about caffeine.
Yeah. Other than it just is so dreamy, but
it is dreamy. Yeah. It's like nicotine, I want to smoke again, but no, not going there.
Oh, good. All right, you guys. Well, I'm really glad. Thank you for getting on tonight. I hope you're all behind this and you'll see the kind of the stuff come out. It's just another fun, warm campaign to really keep people engaged. We don't want to lose everything that we've built up, right? The engagement is at an all-time high. And so that's what's so important, is really capitalizing on that and really helping that move forward. Say hi, Francesca.
Hi.
I guess that's my cue. All right. Thanks, you guys. Thanks for coming on.
Good night.
Thank you.
Good night.